I landed on the wrong planet because the nav computer trusted a beacon that sounded confident. Confidence is not accuracy, and my hull learned that lesson on the way down. The sky was the color of bruised steel, and the ground rushed up like it had a schedule. I bounced once, slid twice, and stopped in a field of glassy sand that rang under my boots. Silence followed, and I hated it more than alarms. I'm Sergeant Vale Orin, infantry support, which means I carry weapons and paperwork in equal measure. My orders was simple: rendezvous with the fleet and deliver a crate of spare optics. My jump spat me here instead. I powered down the engines and waited for the heat warnings to fade. That was when my thermos floated loose and tapped the console like it wanted attention. The thermos was regulation issue, scarred, dented, and full of coffee, strong enough to wake a tank. Galactic law forbids humans from drinking caffeine near combustible engines. Galactic law was written by species that nap on purpose. I cracked the hatch and stepped out into thin air that smelled like cold metal. The sand chimed with every step and echoed into the distance. I took out the thermos because stress makes habits louder. The moment the lid twisted, the aroma spread. The world stopped. Not gently. It stopped like someone had pulled the plug on reality. Shapes rose from the dunes like thoughts made solid. Towel figures in layered robes and translucent masks surrounded me in a careful arc. Their weapons hummed but stayed low, aimed at my chest and then my head. Human, one said, "You are broadcasting." I checked my suit radio and found nothing. Broadcasting what? I asked. Your internal noise, it said. My thoughts, I said. Yes, it said. Very loud. I laughed once because the idea was absurd. They all flinched and took a synchronized step back. Laughter spike detected, another said. Increased distance. I raised the thermos slightly and turned it in the light. Is it this? I asked. Forbidden biofuel, one whispered. It fuels cognition, another said. It turns you into twitchy focus predators. I looked at the thermos. It looked back innocent and dangerous. I took a sip. The effect was immediate and brutal. The sand patterns made sense. The wind timing aligned. I could hear my own thoughts like a drill sergeant barking orders. The aliens staggered as if struck. He is amplifying, one shouted. My head hurts, another cried. Too loud, too sharp, stop him. I capped the thermos fast. The noise faded, and the world relaxed. They breathed again and lowered their weapons. Human anomaly confirmed, the leader said. You weaponize introspection. I rubbed my temples and tried to smile. I just drink coffee, I said. They argued among themselves in clicks and tones. You will come with us, the leader said. Containment. They escorted me across the sand toward a crystal dome grown from the ground. Inside, devices hummed and lights flickered with every step I took. Technicians watched me like a live bomb. Do not think, one said. I tried. The alarms went off immediately. Humans narrate constantly, the leader said. We hear nothing inside. You hear storms? Outside, the ground vibrated. Something heavy moved beneath the dunes. Predator incoming. Someone yelled. Your thoughts attract it, the leader said. I looked at the thermos on the table. I looked at the door. I grabbed the thermos and ran. The aliens scattered, shouting warnings. The predator emerged, a massive construct of metal and light. It tracked noise, mental noise. I sprinted toward my ship, heart pounding. I took a long drink. Focus snapped tight. Fear compressed into clean lines. I rerouted power in my head before touching a panel. The Predator turned toward the ship. I stopped thinking. The engines stayed cold. I drifted sideways, silent as guilt. The Predator hesitated and lost the trail. I slipped into the sky and cleared the atmosphere. From orbit, I marked the planet hazardous. Reason. Humans think too loud. The leader chased me for several steps and then stopped as if hitting an invisible wall. Do not amplify again, it shouted. I waved without turning. Inside the ship, systems woke reluctantly. Every beep felt too loud. I whispered to the console like it might hear me thinking. The Predator circled once more and dipped lower. I imagined nothing. Blank space. Static. The ship slid farther into shadow. On the ground, the aliens watched with awe and terror. One of them pressed hands to its head and said the noise is gone. Another asked if I was dead. I almost laughed and swallowed it. When I reached a safe orbit, I allowed myself one careful thought. I need more coffee. Somewhere far below, alarms flared again. I sealed the thermos and stowed it deep. This planet would survive today. I would not return. Probably. I did not get far before the fleet found me. They always do eventually when something starts screaming in the quiet lanes. My transponder lit up with priority tags and polite threats. I answered with a drift and an apology. Command wanted a report. I wanted sleep. We met in the middle. They ordered me to hold position near a dead moon with no name and bad lighting. I powered down to a whisper and waited. That was when the thermos vibrated in its clamp. Not physically, emotionally. I could feel it, like a bad idea clearing its throat. I ignored it. The fleet arrived in formation, clean and intimidating. A shuttle detached and glided over. The hatch cycled and a squad stepped out with practiced boredom. Captain Renholm led them, visor up, eyes tired. Orin, he said, you look like you met paperwork. I met a planet, I said. Same thing, he said. We sat in my cockpit while diagnostics crawled. I told them about the locals. I told them about the Predator. I did not tell them about the thoughts yet. Renholm watched me too closely. You're thinking loud, he said. I froze. What? I asked. Your face, he said. It is doing the thing. I did not like that. Medical came aboard with scanners and frowns. They asked me to relax. I tried. The alarms did not. Someone handed me a cup of water. I stared at it like it was a test. Renholm sighed. Coffee, he said. I nodded. Do not, he said. I waited. The fleet sensors spiked. Something slipped between lanes nearby. The Predator had followed. The moon shook as if afraid. Renholm swore. All ships cold drift, he ordered. The fleet complied. The Predator circled, confused, tasting the quiet. Then my thoughts slipped. Just a little. The Predator snapped to attention. It came straight for us. Weapons charged across the fleet. It did not care. Renholm looked at me. You did not, he said. I did, I said. He stared at the thermos. I stared back. This is a bad idea, he said. Yes, I said. We are out of options, he said. Also yes, I said. I drank. The universe sharpened. Every ship position aligned in my head. Power flows traced clean lines. Fear became a checklist. I spoke fast and clear. Shields down to minimum. Rotate hulls 5 degrees. Vent heat into shadow. Trust me. They did. The predator lunged and missed. I thought louder. It chased the noise. I pulled it away from the fleet with my mind screaming trajectories. Renholm watched the readings and then me. "You are insane," he said. "Thank you," I said. I led the predator toward the dead moon. At the last moment, I stopped thinking. The fleet stayed dark. The predator slammed into the moon and broke itself open. Silence returned. I slumped in my seat. The thermos was empty. Medical rushed in. Renholm grabbed my shoulder. "We cannot have you doing that again," he said. I nodded. "Agreed," I said. Command classified everything. The locals filed a complaint through 3 councils and a dream. Galactic law updated itself quietly. New clause. Humans must not think loudly near sensitive systems. They assigned me a new role, noise liaison. I sit in a quiet room now. No engines, no thermos, most days. Somewhere out there, predators listen. I try not to think about it. Sometimes I fail. They built the room deep in the station where nothing important hummed. Walls thick, lights soft. They said it was for my comfort. It was for everyone else. I signed forms promising mindfulness and restraint. I broke them on the first day. A junior officer dropped a pen and the station sensors twitched. They moved my desk farther from the core. Renholm visited sometimes. He brought decaf and bad jokes. We tested limits, whispered thoughts, murmured plans. The instruments danced. The councils argued. The predator fragments drifted and faded. Scouts reported others like it, listening. Command decided I was cheaper than shields. They fitted my chair with dampers. They asked me to imagine silence. I imagined oceans. That helped. Then an alarm rang. Another slip between lanes. Another hunter. Renholm did not hesitate. "Orin," he said. I reached for the thermos. It was locked. "Good," he said. "Think just enough." I closed my eyes. I focused. The station went still. The hunter passed by, confused. Everyone exhaled. After, they promoted me and reduced my access. Fair. I keep the thermos sealed now. Most days. When it rattles, I ignore it. When it whispers, I smile. Somewhere, something listens. I try not to. Weeks passed measured by quiet. The fleet learned new drills. Think less. Breathe slower. Let Orin go first. I hated that. I also liked that it worked. The council sent observers who tried not to think around me. They failed spectacularly. One fainted. One cried. One asked for coffee and was escorted out. We wrote manuals. They were very short. Do not think loudly. Do not drink coffee. If Orin smiles, step back. The galaxy adjusted slowly, awkwardly. I watched lanes stay calm. Predators drifted elsewhere. I dreamed of the purple planet sometimes, of glassy sand and fearful eyes. I kept my thoughts soft until the thermos rattled again. I reached for the thermos and stopped. Light suspense is a habit. So is coffee.